The buildings of the 1870s boom were built primarily by 3 or 4 planing mills. The Valley Mills were owned by John Blythe, a local builder and architect. John Blythe's career began as a carpenter in the 1860s when he moved to Monongahela City from nearby Bentleyville. In 1865, John Blythe and Charles E. Bennett each purchased steam-powered planing mills that stood along the river. The earliest mention of his life in local records is in 1864, when he was one of 16 men appointed to the building committee for the First Methodist Church. Although no formal records exist about Blythe's relationship with the First Methodist Church architect Joseph C. Hoxie of Philadelphia, by the time Hoxie's design was completed 9 years later, Blythe was being referred to as an architect and had at least 3 churches, 6 commercial buildings, and 5 brick houses under construction. A paragraph in the 1872 Daily Republican newspaper reads,
"We esteem ourselves fortunate in having a gentleman of such capability amongst us, a genius which is finding abundant practice in developing the architectural beauty of our city and cultivating the tastes of our people. Architecture has been called frozen music, and our friend holds in the highest dignity his art, which he mastered comparatively well, having achieved success, so far, in whatever he has undertaken, and his friends believe that with known earnestness and application, he will accomplish a name in the profession to which he is so enthusiastically devoted."
Blythe's career declined during the Jay Cooke panic, especially after the 1875 fire that destroyed his planing mill. He briefly re-emerged in the 1880s, mostly as a builder contracted to build structures designed by Pittsburgh architects. In July 1888, the planing mill was again destroyed, this time by flood, and Blythe designed and built his last known house in 1889, the Mrs. James Kerr House, a stylistically modest 8-room addition to an 1850s home directly across West Main Street from Bethel AME Church. He married twice, first to Martha Pierce, by whom he had 4 children. Later he married Lavina Campbell and had 2 more children. Before building this home, he at one time lived in the old Chess homestead. Blythe died in 1901 at the age of 62. James Blythe, the eldest son of William and Mary S. Blythe, was a prominent contractor, builder, and lumber dealer in Monongahela. He was born November 9, 1831, in Fallowfield Township, Washington County, Pennsylvania, on the old homestead farm, which he eventually owned in 1869, and which was the property of his father and grandfather before him. 160 acres had been granted to his father for services to the government in the War of 1812. He remained on the farm until he was 20 years old, when he came to Monongahela and followed the trade of a carpenter beginning in 1851. On March 20, 1856, he was married in Monongahela to Miss Elizabeth Butler, and together they had 5 children, the youngest being Mary. In October 1862, he enlisted in Company I, 154th Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry, serving until July 1863, and was first sergeant of his company. By 1876, he engaged in the lumber business under the firm name of Foster, Blythe, and Neal. Mr. and Mrs. Blythe were members of the Methodist Episcopal Church and ranked among the leading citizens of their town.